We are back in Missouri, and this time I've got some good news for you. It's an update on the Agape boarding school story. Now, I'll link my last video on Agape for reference, but here's the overview. This is a Christian boarding school in southwest Missouri whose doctor had been charged with child sex crimes, and 5 employees have been charged with assaulting students. Agape also faces 19 civil lawsuits filed in the past 16 months by former students that allege physical and sexual abuse. There have been many calls to Attorney General Eric Schmidt and to Governor Mike Parson to do something, namely close the school, which they certainly have the power to do, but they have done nothing. Well, Robert Buckland, along with survivors of the abuse at Agape, decided they weren't going to let this one go. So they have been working diligently to raise awareness and public outcry to do more. Buckland also reached out to a current candidate in the Democratic primary for Senate here in Missouri, and that is Spencer Torder. Now, despite not being an elected official, Torder decided that he was going to do something that Parson and Schmidt had refused. Something. Keep in mind that religious schools like Agape don't have to be licensed by the state here in Missouri, so accreditation by third parties is key to their success, which Torder clearly understands, because what he began to do is reach out to the organizations listed on Agape's website that had accredited the school and try to talk to them about why they're still accrediting Agape. First, the Association of Christian Teachers and Schools. He began contacting them in June with news articles and information about the issues with Agape and making sure that they were aware of these accusations and asking them if they were going to pull their accreditation. After weeks of reaching out, Torder received a response saying that ACTS was no longer going to accredit Agape. Then came the National Council for Private School Accreditation, who responded to Torder that they would also no longer recognize Agape until the investigation was complete. Then Accreditation International, another one touted on Agape's website. They said that they had withdrawn their accreditation some years ago. Another, Cognia, responded that they would review the concerns, but they made no commitments. Still, the organizations that have already removed the accreditation is a huge step towards some accountability for this school. Let's also give some credit to the Kansas City Star for doing the first big story on this, and let's give some credit to Representative Carrie Engel, who was the first to actually call for a hearing and co-sponsored a bill that allowed for at least some oversight for the state on religious schools. That was HB 557. She was one of the first to bring schools like Agape into focus. Now, there is certainly more that needs to be done to ensure that there is justice for these victims here, but as far as updates go, this is a pretty good one.